What's up, buddy? It's what Jim. And joined by Brier's Music Showcase again, and Jason Leon Millennial once again. And this time we're reviewing the Tom Petty album, Highway Companion, from 2006. It's episode 3 of the Under the Radar series. How are you guys doing?
Pretty good.
Are you excited? Are you excited to talk about this album?
Yeah, I'd say so.
Yeah, I'm
Was
definitely
this
been hearing your thoughts.
Was this the first time you heard the album?
For me, yes. This was the first time I heard. I mean, we talked a little bit, but I do have his 2 other solo albums, but this is the one I have not heard yet. So, yeah, this was definitely pretty new for me.
Yeah, it's funny because I started when I first did I don't know if this last year I started doing these, what I call them deep dives, where I go into an artist and I go through their whole discography and do a whole video on that artist and band and do a top 10, all that. And when I did a poll for who I should do first, Tom Petty won the poll. And so Tom Petty was the first deep dive I did this last year. And so I had never listened to any of Tom Petty's albums before, the Tom Petty and Heartbreakers and his 3 solos. And so I went through his whole, the bands, and then also his 3 solo albums. So yeah, this year was the first time I went through this album, Highway Companion. And then I listened to it again, of course, for this video. So I'm still fairly new at it.
I think I've heard the album.
I feel like when I talked to Bryer about it, he had never listened to Tom Petty. I remember when I was doing the Tom Petty deep dive.
Yeah, I was pretty limited. I didn't have that many of Tom Petty. I knew his hits, but I didn't know any deep cuts.
So I remember Bryer was like doing a live stream or something like that, and maybe one of his first ones, because he just started doing live streams, I think, this year or whatever. And I was in the comments and I asked him what he thought about Tom Petty or something like that, and I remember if he had Tom Petty, but I feel like he didn't really have a whole lot of Tom Petty.
I think at that point I only had one. I only had Into the Great Wide Open. That was the only one I had at the time. Yeah,
it's the only one he had. So I was like, oh wow, so Bryer wasn't that in on Tom Petty either, like me. And so so it's interesting to see now you got 2 of his solo albums at least. So
yeah, I do have Damn the Torpedoes as well.
Okay,
I did. So I have a little bit of the Heartbreakers.
Cool.
Those are my favorite. Those are my favorite albums right there. I mean,
yeah.
I recently got Into the Great Wide Open on CD.
Nice.
John sent me it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, he's a big fan.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'll do talk about that CD soon. But yeah, it's a great album, that one.
Mm-hmm.
Go back to Highway Companion. It's his 3rd solo album and his last solo album as well. And it was released, of course, in 2006, and it was number 4 on the Billboard 200 at the time. And the album is 43 minutes, and it's produced by Tom Petty, also Mike Campbell and Jeff Lynne. But it doesn't really sound like a Jeff Lynne produced album. I remember when I first heard it, I had no idea it was produced by Jeff Lynne.
Yeah. They're pretty close, weren't they?
Oh yeah. Yeah, I mean, he's produced I know Jeff produced his first solo album.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I don't know about the second one though.
It was Rick Rubin who did that one.
Yeah, then they were in Traveling Wilburys together too at around that same time, I would say.
Yeah, I think so.
Late 90s. I don't know when they were. I can't remember. Or
late 80s. Yeah.
Sorry, late 88.
Like 88. The first Wilburys album came out.
Yeah.
And then his first album came out around that time. Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But I also found it quite weird on the album that Tom Petty did all the drumming on it.
Really?
I know that he could do any drumming.
Yeah.
But he found that out today.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't think he did any drumming on any more albums. I think it was just this one. But I found it very interesting. And there were a total 12 tracks on this album, but there's 14 if you count the other tracks. 2 demos and 2 all the original songs, but really covered the 12 main songs on the album. There's other 4 tracks aren't even on Spotify. You can find them on YouTube. But what else? We'll quickly talk about the album cover. What do you guys think of the album cover of this one?
Pretty interesting. Definitely
That's a good
different
album
for Tom. For Tom, I think.
Yeah,
It's my favorite album cover of his.
yeah.
I think it's brilliant. Yeah, it's very simple but very effective.
Yeah, I do like the colors of it.
Yeah.
So might as well just go straight to talking about the first track then, which is Saving Grace. So you can go first, Jason, and then Bryer, and then myself
All right.
on this song.
All right. Sounds good. Yeah, Saving Grace. Pretty decent opener. It's a kind of an upbeat. Definitely got a lot of country rock feel to it to me. This whole album has a very country-ish feel to me, and that's kind of Tom Petty though. I feel like Tom Petty combines pop, rock, and country together kind of in his albums. I know he's considered Americana is kind of the genre, which I never heard that genre before, but I know they talk about him. They talk about Mellencamp, I think, is in the same kind of genre.
Yeah.
I've heard people talk about, and so it's definitely a little bit different, but it works for Tom Petty, I think, because I'm not like a big country or country rock fan, but I like Tom Petty's style, and overall, it's a pretty good upbeat opener, I'd say, to the album.
Yeah, I agree. This I think is a pretty good opening track. Again, pretty good. Again, it's got a good catchy kind of rhythm to it. Again, nice driving rhythm that kind of keeps it going. And again, Tom's vocals sound really good. And throughout the album, I think his voice has always been consistently pretty good. So, and this is no exception. There's some nice organ sounds in the background. I think that was a nice little added touch. But yeah, some nice guitar playing here. Some little guitar playing by Mike Campbell, of course. But yeah, pretty good opening track.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think it's a pretty great opening track. I'd say it's one of the better songs on the album, definitely. I love the drumming in it and the hand claps as well. I don't think the drumming really kicks into about. I think it's just after the first chorus.
Yeah.
Did you guys listen to Highway Companion earlier today? Because I listened to it. I listened to it on my record player.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was the third time I heard it all the way through.
Oh, really?
It's quite weird because it's a double album, even though the album's only 43 minutes.
It's a double album. Oh, okay.
Wow.
Yeah, 3 songs each side.
Oh, okay.
Interesting.
Yeah, I've always thought I don't know why it is.
Guess want to sell more, so be added.
You might as well just include those bonus tracks on it.
Yeah.
To make it a double album then. I'm not really sure. It could have made it maybe 10 tracks. You could have had it as one LP then.
Yeah, the songs aren't even that long either.
Yeah, I'm a bit surprised about that one.
Yeah.
But then we move on to the second track, which is my favourite track on the album and also my favourite Tom Petty song. That's Square One. What do you guys think of that one?
Sorry if you hear voices. That's my wife.
That's all right.
Moving in. We're still moving stuff into the basement. Yeah. And I don't have a door, so I can close it. I'm in.
Gotcha.
In my other house, I had a door I could close and close myself off from everybody, but the setup, I'm kind of open. So if someone comes to that door, I can't do anything about it. So, anyways, Square One, yeah, really great song. One of the best on the album, and it's kind of it's just a really nice acoustic guitar with Tom Petty's voice, and that works really well, I think. And this definitely got a really good melody to it, and Tom Petty sounds great. I think there's like a little bit. I don't know if there's somebody singing along with him or if he's just like double tracking. I don't know how that works, but if there's someone else singing along, because there's some of these songs that have some like good, sometimes in the choruses someone will what's the word? Will join in, and you get some kind of nice decent harmonies. in there. I don't know if there's another person singing there, if that's just Tom Petty, like, you know, harmonizing with himself, or but always sounds really good anyways. But yeah, it's a really nice sounding song. Yeah, definitely one of the best on here.
Yeah. I'll be honest, this song was kind of a grower for me. I think I listened to this album 3 times. First time I heard it, at first I didn't care much for it because it was kind of a bit slow for my taste. Second listen,
Mm-hmm.
okay, now it's starting. Okay, now I'm starting to get into the melody a bit more. And then earlier today, I was like, okay, yeah, I can see that. Yeah, this is definitely a standout song. For all the reasons that Jason's mentioned. Again, it's a nice, slow, kind of acoustic number. The acoustic playing is very, very nice. There's even a nice little guitar solo in it that on this recent listen I picked up and like, oh, that's actually, I like the sound of it. And yeah, yeah, and Jason also brought that up. Like, there's definitely something. I hear something in the background. I can't tell what it is. It sounds like a keyboard, but it's like very faint that I can't really pinpoint
I'm
it.
not sure what it is.
Yeah, it's like, but it sounds like something underneath it. But regardless, I think it adds to the atmosphere. So overall, this was definitely a grower for me. But yeah, it's a very pretty song.
Yeah, I think it's fantastic, and yeah, I agree. I think that the guitar solo is really good here by Mike Campbell. Yeah, I just love the entire song. It's one I can listen to over and over. I think I've spoken about this song several times on my channel, so I don't need to go too in depth with it. But yeah, I think the song's brilliant.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so it's still my favorite Tom Petty song.
Okay.
I think it's a very hidden gem, this one. And then the first side ends with "Flirting with Time,"
It ends with
which is another one of my favorite songs on the album. But yeah, it's just the first side, and you've got 3 songs on it.
yeah, it's good.
All the sides do.
Flirt with Time, such a good song. Another one of the best songs on here. It's got kind of a more of an upbeat sound to it, I guess, but really catchy melody, really catchy chorus. Really love the chorus. That's what really makes the song. It's my favorite one in the whole album, as far as like singing along to. There's something about when you get to that chorus and you go, he's flirting with time, and then all of a sudden there's like just the one like just constant drum beat, and even the downbeats. It's all of a sudden the acoustic guitar and the bass, and it's just downbeat, bum 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 bum, and I loved it. Like, and I love how you can kind of tell when the it's going to transition from verse to chorus. All of a sudden you're like, all right, here it comes, and then it's flirting with time. Like, I love that transition into from verse to chorus anyways, and even I love the singing in the chorus. He says flirting with time, and then it gets a little bit higher, and time's like running out on you or something like that. Yeah, really great. Like, definitely one of my favorites on the album.
Yeah.
Yeah, yes, another really good one. I mean, the second I hear the song, I hear the drums, I'm like, oh yeah, Jeff Lynne produced this because it definitely has that Jeff Lynne sound that he's usually hear whenever he produces. But yeah, regardless, it's a good sound too. But yeah, it's just a really nice, very good song. Again, the chorus, like Jason says, again, very good. Really like how the sound of it. One thing I really enjoyed was it's short, but there's a guitar solo, but it sounds like it's done on a 12-string guitar. And of course, after marathoning the Byrds catalog, I pretty much know a lot about the 12-string at this point. But yeah, it's a really good song.
Yeah, I've not really got too much to add. Really, it's one of the more happiest songs, and one of the more catchy songs on the album.
Yeah.
I think it was a single, not 100% sure. Yeah, I think it was a single.
Could be if it wasn't.
But yeah, it's an excellent track, and I think the first side of the album, I think is the best side on the album. Yeah. Don't have any problems with the first side of it, and then you go to the second side with the song Down South.
Down South.
what the name suggests.
Yeah, it's another really good song. Like I think these 3 songs in a row are like the 3 best songs on the album, and it's crazy that they're like right in a row. So, but it does definitely make the album sound really good when you first get into it, and you're just going, "Wow, this is a good one, and this is a good one." You know, where you're like, "How many good ones can he put together?" You know, and yeah, I really like this one as well. It's interesting. The lyrically, it sounds like a song about like going back to like a town that going down to the south to a town like you grew up in maybe or you're familiar with, and he's going back to that town kind of thing. So I like that kind of idea. I know he's from Florida, so he's kind of from the south, I guess. But I know that feeling when I go back to my town, you know, where my parents live and all that. The only thing is and I love the chorus. Chorus is great about if I arrive like at your front door where you let me sleep on your floor. And I'm like, you didn't plan this trip out very well. If that is your idea, is that you're just gonna knock on someone's door and be like, can I sleep on your floor? I got nowhere to stay. I'm like, this is really bad planning as far as taking a trip, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So I don't know what's going on here. Like, why is he knocking on people's doors? And
this must be a very friendly neighborhood.
yeah, like, does he know these people? I hope so. I don't know. And if so, surely that he can sleep on a couch or something, not on the floor, but or someone's got a spare bed. But I'll sleep on your floor, and I'll something and a little more. I forget. I'll pay you back and a little more or something like that. Really great chorus again. Really enjoyed it. All around, yeah, really good song.
Yep, this is definitely one of my favorite songs on the album. Again, really love the feel for it. Again, it has that almost nostalgic type of sound to it, which I'm always a sucker for those types of songs. Yeah, great melodies. The chorus is really nice. Get another really good guitar solo on here, and also I really love the organ. Like there's a bit of organ playing in the background, and yeah, that's just really good, really adding to the feel. But yeah, this was a really good standout.
Yeah, one of my favorites on the album as well. I love the backing vocals on it.
Yeah.
Every time I revisit where I used to live, I always play this song because I'm going down south as well. the only thing I'm not doing is I'm not sleeping on the floor.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
It's just Tom Petty who do that one. Yeah, it's a brilliant track, and then you got the track called Jack. It's not one of my favorites on the album. I think it's one of the more filler tracks, but I still think it's pretty great though.
Yeah, it's an okay song. Like, yeah, not as good as the last 3. I think are the strongest songs on the album. I like the core. I mean, I like the verses actually a little more. There's not really much of a chorus from what I remember of the song, but the verses have if I remember right, I'm trying to think, it has like a pretty cool cadence to it, and I'm forgetting exactly the cadence, but the verses have like this cool kind of. It sounds different than all the other songs to me. As far as the vocally, the verses, I don't know how they go. But there's kind of a neat cadence to the verses that I like. So I'm kind of enjoying the verses, but it lacks a chorus really to bring me into the song to make it better, in my opinion.
Yeah. This was also one of my least this one kind of ranked more towards the bottom. Yeah, it does have a good cadence, but Tom's, I don't know, there's like a weird effect on Tom's vocals. I can't tell that it was a little bit distracting. Yeah. So, and you know, this song switched up a lot. Like it starts out with that cadence, and then it comes and it rocks out for a little bit, but then it goes back to that cadence, and I'm like, we're constantly going back and forth. I'm kind of waiting for it to actually rock out and stay there, but it keeps going back to it. I'm like kind of waiting for it, but nothing really happens after that. I mean, it's got another nice guitar solo, and the bass playing's pretty solid. But yeah, this one didn't really do a whole lot for me in the grand scheme of things.
I think it's the shortest track on the album as well. It's only about 2.5 minutes.
Yeah.
But my favorite part of the song is the rocky of it. I wish more songs.
That's probably the closest chorus. That's probably the closest of course is when it rocks out. That's probably probably it.
And then we got another track which I also call this one a bit filler. I'm not as crazy on the second side as him. on the first side. It's a song, Turn This Car Around. It might be my least favorite on the album, but I still enjoy it though.
Yeah, I thought it was okay, and I was listening to it this morning. I kind of liked it a little more, I think, than the first time I was listening to it. Can't remember much about it, to be honest, but I just remember I put down that I thought it was okay.
Yeah.
But
Same here.
it's quite a long song. It's one of the longest songs on the album as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's like it starts out kind of slow. There's like a build up to it, and then it switches up, and like, okay, yeah, now we're getting somewhere. Then it goes back into the slow thing again, and I'm like, okay, again, kind of a weak way to close it. But again, guitar playing's still good, but other than that, there's not much. I didn't have a whole lot to say at this one.
Yeah, I like the guitar playing on it. It's probably the best part about the song.
Yeah.
I think there's great guitar playing all around us, really.
Yeah, definitely.
And then that's it for the first disc.
Right.
6 songs, and then you got the second disc, which opens with the song Big Weekend. It's one of the more rockier songs on the album. Yeah, I think it's a pretty awesome one.
Yeah, for me, it was one of the weaker songs on the album, I guess. I didn't find anything nothing really, what's the word, stood out to me about the song. Except that I felt like I was listening to the drums on it a little bit, and it definitely has this like country feel to it to me. And it sounds like when they drum with paintbrushes or whatever, you know what I'm talking about?
Mm-hmm.
It has that kind of sound to it. I wonder if that's what they're doing. It doesn't sound like a normal like drumstick hitting the drum heads or whatever. Anyway, so it has that, which I'm not crazy about that sound. It's like a little oldie, I don't know, country or something. To me, I don't know. That's just me, but yeah, it wasn't a big one for me personally.
Okay. I actually did quite enjoy this one. Yeah, it had a really good feel to it. It kind of has a very bright sound. Again, I can hear there's like 12-string guitars going on, and of course they're known for that bright sound, which I always enjoyed.
Mm-hmm.
I actually did quite like the drumming. I didn't think about that they were probably using brushes. It didn't really come into my mind. But regardless, though, I thought the chorus was pretty nice too, and there's some harmonica as well, which was kind of nice. I don't mind harmonica every once in a while. But yeah, this was a pretty nice song, I think.
Yeah. None of them likes a new basement, Jason.
Oh, thanks, Trudy.
Yeah, doing okay. It's finally starting to cool down a little bit here.
Oh, it's freezing cold here.
Yep. I mean, it's just cold enough. I just need to wear a long sleeve shirt. That's all I need.
I gotta wear a coat and everything when I go outside.
Yep. The nights get cold though, but in the day, I'm like, this is all I need.
Yeah, I think Big Weekends. Yeah, pretty awesome track. I'd say it's mid tier for me on the album. Not really got too much else to really say about it. It's one of the more catchy songs on the album. I think the harmonica too in the song really adds to it as well. The harmonica's only using it very, very briefly though. I wish it was in the song a bit more. But then you got the track Night Driver. What do you guys think of that one?
Yeah, I actually quite like this song. It's kind of a laid back song, but I kind of like Tom Petty when he does these laid back songs. I always feel like I said, Tom Petty to me. I mean, I like when he does this album is definitely more acoustic, laid back. I think album in some ways compared to like Damn the Torpedoes has a little more upbeat pop sound to it, in my opinion, or maybe Full Moon Fever as well. And so I like Tom Petty when he does the upbeat pop stuff, but he's also really good with the more just acoustic, more laid back. I don't know what you want to call it, type of music. And I thought it worked really well. It sounds like it's about like maybe a truck driver or something like that, driving at night. That's what I think of when I see Night Driver, because I know they have to drive like long hours and they have to drive at night, I think, and all this, and probably really sucks having to drive really late at night. I can only imagine. I work night shift, so I know what it's like to be up at night and want to go to bed and all that. But yeah, overall, I really enjoyed it.
Yeah. I feel like the song needs to grow on me a bit more because I do like it. I kind of have a more middle of the pack though, because there's elements on here that I really enjoy. Like when when in the beginning where when you hear the keyboards, it has a very Doors sound to it. Like I can definitely hear that's the sound Ray Manzarek would probably be using on a Doors song. There's some nice nice melody that kind of stays throughout the whole track, which was kind of nice. I did like it. And there's some moments each instrument gets a chance to shine. Like there's a little mini bass solo on here, which is kind of interesting. Like you don't really hear much bass solos on Tom Petty stuff very often. That was kind of interesting. And there were some nice guitar and keyboard solos as well, kind of going back and forth very briefly. But yeah, but overall, it's still that kind of stays that keeps that melody throughout. It's one of the longer songs on the album, and I think maybe you could have trimmed maybe a minute off, and then maybe I would have liked even more. But other than that, it's still a solid song.
Yeah, it's not one of the more memorable songs on the album, but I still think it's a really good song. I think it's very melodic as well. I love the vibe of the song.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think the best part though is that bass solo. I forgot it was in the album.
Yeah.
When I heard it, I was in shock. I forgot they did that. And that's it for the third side. Then you got the fourth and final side, which starts off with this old town.
What about Damaged by Love? Where's that?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, we're going on back to the third side.
Okay.
Yeah, it's Damaged by Love next.
Okay. Yeah, I know a song I quite enjoyed. Not the top tier, but like right next to my top songs. It's one that I enjoy definitely. And just the whole idea, Damaged by Love. Like I guess if you ever fall in love, I think you know what that feeling is. I've definitely been damaged by love. Like I hear that, you know.
I'm still
and
pure.
Yeah, you guys are young. Yeah, so I definitely get the whole sentiment behind it anyways. And yeah, it's just a lovely song by Tom Petty. A lot of these songs are kind of similar to me. They're all really nice sounding because Tom Petty's, you know, vocals are really good, I think, throughout the whole album, and love the acoustic guitar sounding to a lot of them. But yeah.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Again, probably somewhere in the middle for me. But again, still really nice, kind of slow, mid-tempo type of track. Some nice guitar playing. It's nice slide guitar. I do enjoy a little bit of slide guitar.
Yeah.
Every so often. But yeah, it's one of those songs that it's just kind of like you just kind of chilling, just kind of enjoying the moment type of thing. But yeah, again, good guitar solo as well. But yeah, pretty good track.
And then I was skipped over it because it's one of my favorite tracks on the album. I think it's a beautiful song. It's one of the ballads on the album, I'd say. I guess you could call it that. But I think the chorus is the best part of the song. Just a really nice song that I don't feel like I listen to enough. I only listen to it when I get to this album, but I feel like I should listen to it a bit more than that because it is a really good song. But then we move on to the fourth side with the song "This Old Town."
All right, This Old Town. It's interesting. I look at, like, you know, Down South, This Old Town. There's some that have similar titles to them to me. You got Night Driver and Turn This Car Around. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm repeating some ideas, it seems like. But This Old Town is funny. First time I listened to it, I wasn't like crazy about it. But then I was listening to it again this morning, trying to prepare for this video. And I don't know, it kind of grew on me on the second listen. And I kind of just found myself actually being one of my favorites on the album. It's, again, I know, laid back, I think I would call it laid back song that I think has a nice sound to it. Don't remember much of the lyrics on top of my head, but I remember just enjoying the song when I was
It's all
listening.
about spiking your drink. I think it was one of the lines.
What's that?
They
Spiking.
spike your drink, yeah.
Like the drink.
They'll come off.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
All right. So, for me, this one was okay. It was okay. I liked it, but it wasn't one of my favorites. Again, I do like it, the kind of more laid back stuff, but this is kind of where I was kind of like, okay, it's kind of samey for the most part. Not much goes on with it. There's a nice little piano solo towards the end, so that was kind of nice. But overall, didn't really have a whole lot to say about it.
It could have been the song that could have been a bit shorter. It's one of the longer songs in the album. I think after about the 3 minute mark of the song does get a bit samey,
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm.
a bit monotonous. But yeah, I think it's a really good track still. But it's one I don't listen to on the album though. It's not one of my favorite songs on the album. But I find it a bit funny that it's all about spiking your drink in the song though. You don't really know what it's all about there. And then you got the penultimate track on the album called Ankle Deep.
Ankle Deep. Yeah, it's not one that was probably my least favorite on the album. It just, I think at this point when I got to Ankle Deep, I think I did kind of feel the way that I think you're saying, that I think each song kind of started sounding the same to me, and it started to be like I started getting a little fatigued towards the end, where I was like, I'm not hearing anything much new to the album. So sometimes when you get to the bottom of an album, I get that way. I don't know if you ever do that. I don't know. So I'm listening to the whole album.
Sometimes feel like that.
Yeah.
There's some albums that do that.
Okay. Yeah, that's right. Unless you hit me with "Won't Get Fooled Again" or something, and then you really get me back on track, or whatever, or "Tomorrow Never Knows" or whatever, then I'll be like, oh, okay. Yeah, I don't know. I don't have much to say. It was not one that I would go back to probably.
Yeah. Yeah, it was kind of middle of the road, somewhere in the middle. Again, kind of more, definitely has a more rock feel to it. It has, feel good type of song, and guitar playing is great. But yeah, I didn't have a whole lot to say about it. It was pretty average.
Yeah, it's middle of the road for me too. Don't really have any problems with the song. It gets buried with the rest of the songs really.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure what ankle deep means. Is it a saying? Ankle deep?
I don't know if it's a southern thing. I don't know.
Deep in what? I don't know if I knew what exactly he's talking about.
Yeah.
Or metaphorically, maybe. I don't know.
But yeah, I still think it's a really good track. And then you got the final track being the Golden Rose, which is the longest song on the album.
Yeah, and I actually kind of enjoyed this song. I think, especially the chorus. Like when I got to that chorus, I thought there was some good harmonies there. Again, there's somebody else singing along with Tom Petty or something, and so I kind of enjoyed. Yeah, once I got to that chorus, I thought it was really good, and overall enjoyable song. I thought it was a pretty good ender to the album, in my opinion.
Yeah. I did like the keyboard intro in the beginning. I think that was a nice introduction to it. Yeah, I dig the vibe to this song. Again, another slower song.
Mm-hmm.
And when the chorus comes in, it kind of brightens up a bit more, which is kind of nice. Again, all the guitars really sound really good. Playing is nice. Yeah, I agree. I think this was a pretty nice way to close out the album.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think the last minute of the song is just instrumental, but I don't mind it. I think it sounds really, really good. That I wouldn't have shortened it. I think it's definitely the best way they could have ended the album. It does sound like a final track on an album. I love the piano playing at the beginning of it. It's got quite a creepy sort of sound to it, but I think it goes well with the song. And yeah, I love the vocals on the chorus. the rock, all three songs. I think the vocals are excellent. Yeah, I'd say it's one of the better songs on the album. So now we talked about all the songs on the album. Have you guys ranked the songs?
I've done that.
I put a top 5 together because that's what we usually do on Sound Up Studio. So
All right, yeah.
I wasn't sure what the what we do on this channel.
Well, it's up to you really. But you can go with your top 5.
My top 5, okay. Number 5, I put This Old Town. Like I said, it was kind of a last minute entry. I was listening to this morning. I was like, you know what? I kind of like the song. I'm gonna put it in my top 5. So it kind of just snuck in there. Number 4, I put Night Driver. Like I said, I love the easygoing of it. Then to me, the top 3 are by far the best songs on this album, and they come right in a row.
Yeah, I think it's pretty good to say.
I will even say like the first side, which to me the first side is the first 6 songs. I think that's the best part of the album is those first 6, and then it probably goes down after that into the second part. But yeah, number 3, I got Down South. Yeah, really, really good song off here. 2, I got Square One. Yeah, really great song. Definitely one of the best of Tom Petty's solo career. And then number 1, Flirting with Time. Just one of the best choruses I've heard out of Tom Petty. Just one I love. I kept listening to and really singing along to. So yeah, that's my number 1, Flirting with Time.
Cool. Now I actually did have usually when I review an album for whatever channel, I do rank every single song. Yeah. So I usually have the whole list, and then depending on the channel, I'll take just the 5. And so I'll just quickly go through this. So 12, I have Jack. Number 11, I have Turn This Car Around. Number 10, This Old Town. Number 9, Night Driver. Number 8, Damaged by Love. Number 7, Ankle Deep. 6, The Golden Rose. Number 5, Flirting with Time. Number 4, Square One. Number 3, Big Weekend. Number 2, Saving Grace. And number 1, Down South.
Okay,
cool. I think I was quite similar. Like my number 12 is Turn This Car Around. 11 is Jack. 10 is This Old Town. 9 is Night Driver. 8 is Ankle Deep. 7 is Big Weekend. 6 is The Golden Rose, which we both have the same. And number 5 is Down South. 4 Saving Grace. 3 Damaged by Love. 2 Flirting with Time, and 1 Square One. Yeah.
Yeah. I think we have 2. We had 2 in common, 2 or 3 in common there.
Yeah. Mine was a little different.
Chosen one.
Oh.
What's your most valuable vinyl?
People like cost the most, or
oh God.
I've got a pretty rare Guns N' Roses record.
Oh, yeah, those are pretty hard to get.
I'm doing a YouTube short at some point on my most valuable records.
I want to say my most expensive was this original Let It Bleed record, I think.
I've not got any original Stones records. The way too expensive.
I don't buy originals, so I buy whatever's cheapest I can get hand.
Right, yeah.
I don't like to spend much money on that kind of stuff. Gosh, I don't know. I feel like this cost me a little bit just because it's a double album of the Beach Boys.
Yeah. Songs
of Summer. So it might have cost me, it might have cost me over $30, $40. I don't know. I always see the Beatles One album, and it's always like $40. I'm like, man, I'd love to have that Beatles One album on vinyl, but I don't want to spend the $40 on it. You know what I mean? And
not a cheap record.
The White Album's like $80. I think anytime I see that, I can't spend the $80 on the White Album, but I'd love to have the White Album.
I don't think I spent as much as that on the White Album. I think I got a pretty good deal on it. I got the 2018 mix of it. So now we get to the point where we give the album the score out of 10. So What do you think? What do you think, Jason?
Yeah, I'm gonna give an 8 out of 10. Like I said, 3 really standout songs, and then somewhat filler, I think, and some okay. It's okay. It's like it's not bad. They're just okay kind of songs, but with those 3 strong ones, kind of put up to 8.
Yeah, 2 for 2. I'm also going to give this an 8 out of 10.
Okay.
For all the same reasons. Yeah, I think I'd say my top 5 are songs that I'm probably going to go back to. Then there's like maybe 2 songs I'm like, okay, I'll like occasionally go back to, and then the rest is kind of like, I'm probably going to forget them when I hear them again. So, but yeah, it's still a pretty decent album. I think it's pretty good. I might just pick it up.
Yeah,
Cool.
should.
Just so I can have the whole trilogy.
Yeah, might as well.
Before I give my rating, I even rank the sides on the album. I'm
Okay.
gonna 4 with the side 2, 3 is side 4, 2 side 3, and 1 the first side.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
And it's my favorite Tom Petty album. So
Yeah.
it's gonna get a 10 out of 10 for me.
Yeah, I had a feeling.
Mhm.
What can I say? My favorite album of his.
Yeah.
So do you guys think this album's underrated, properly rated, or overrated?
I suppose it's underrated because I don't think I've heard people talk about it, but
Yeah, I'd say so.
Yeah, I'd say it's underrated as well.
Full Moon Fever's to me is kind of the big one out of the 3, I would think.
Yeah.
I'd say so.
It has my favorite Tom Petty song on it, Free Falling. Plus it has Come Back Down, I think, right?
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, another top 10 Tom Petty song for me. Full Moon Fever is my favorite of his solo albums. I think it's a really good album.
I thought it was into the Great Wide Open.
Yeah, Into the Great Wide Open, Damn the Torpedoes, and Full Moon Fever was my top 3 on Tom Petty. If you're going to combine the Heartbreakers with the solo albums, I guess.
What's your dream vinyl to get?
Every Queen album.
Which one?
Every Queen album.
All the Queen albums.
I'm at 6 so far, so I need like 9 more to go.
Yeah, that would be cool. Yeah, I want to get all the Beatle albums on vinyl. So the one that's going to be the hardest is the White Album, I think.
I've not got Yellow Submarine, but I'm not interested in getting Yellow Submarine.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, I still need to get Yellow Submarine. I still need to get Sgt. Pepper's. I still haven't gotten that one. I saw it at a store one time. It was like $40, and I couldn't believe it. I was like, "Why is this $40? It should only be like 26." But I don't know if it was like a new remix or something. I don't know. So I'm like, I still need to find Sgt. Pepper's. Still need to get With the Beatles and Beatles for Sale, I think, and then I complete the Beatles, which is I'd love to do that on vinyl.
I don't really have a dream vinyl. I can think of one that it's obviously a joke though. I was going to say the chosen one doing karaoke on vinyl.
There you go.
I can't think of one right now.
Or what's that? Paradise, the Beach Boys.
Somewhere in Paradise. Oh man,
that's kind of a rare one, isn't it?
There's no way I'm getting that.
I'm CD's fine. I'm fine. I
don't know if they have a vinyl, but
yeah, probably not.
They tried to bury that one, I think.
Yeah, they don't really talk about that one very much.
I would buy that vinyl. Well, I would. It would just have to be a one-off. It has to be one of a kind. But that's pretty much all we're going to say on the album. Do you guys have any final thoughts on the album?
Yeah, I only say that I give an 8, so I'd give it a recommend. I think if you haven't listened to the album, and like I said, I was not a Tom Petty fan until this last year. I finally went through his stuff, and I came out a Tom Petty fan. Like where I'm like, I have Full Moon Fever. I have his greatest hits. I definitely want to get Into the Great Wide Open, Damn Torpedoes, Wildflowers, Highway Companion. I wouldn't mind getting either. And I need to go through his albums again, probably see what else I want to get out of there. But definitely come out really liking his style.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I enjoyed talking about this with you guys.
Yeah, I mean, for me, this is. I've always enjoyed Tom Petty. I wouldn't say I'm like a diehard fan, but I've always had a great amount of respect for him. I mean, yeah, he's made some really fantastic songs, and yeah, rest in peace to him.
Yeah.
I think he was born and he died in October.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
I do the live stream in October, and in a couple of days it'll be Halloween.
Yeah.
Mm.
Is Halloween the thing in England? Or is that's an American thing? Or?
No, we got it in England.
Oh, okay.
Oh, cool.
It's the thing everywhere.
We're not decorating. We're not decorating outside the house this year. We're only decorating the inside.
Yeah, no, we don't do that at our house either. We're one of those houses where when Halloween comes, we turn off all the lights and pretend we're not home.
Yeah, that's what we do.
I might try doing that this year.
Yeah.
But I enjoyed talking about this album with you guys.
Yeah.
Thanks for having us.
So next time, everyone, peace out and ciao.